Yo, what's good? It's your boy Big Steve, and tonight's another episode of Go Blue Uncut, where we gonna be talking about my keys to victory in the Michigan versus TCU game. First game of the playoffs, December 31st. Arizona, we lit, as the young kids say. Let's get into it, man. So we got TCU. Everybody already know it's been announced 2 weeks ago. It's the first video I did in a while. I'm still hungover from the Ohio and the Big Ten championship game. So, it's getting closer to game week. So I decided to go ahead and get it back into it, man. I'm excited. I can't wait. It feels so good, man. It feels good to be a Michigan Wolverine. So a little bit about TCU. They no slouch. Max the real deal. He runs hard. He don't look to go out of bounds. Similar to JJ, he's looking for contact. I think a part of JJ's game, sometimes they want him to run out of bounds and they kind of mess with him a little bit. He's looking for contact. So yes, Max Duggan, the quarterback, man, the Heisman finalist, finished second in the Heisman voting. 3,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The dude can run the ball as well. He's no slouch, man. He had, 400 rushing yards this year. So he's not scared to run the ball. He like to extend the play. So he's type of quarterback that always gave Michigan nightmares. Similar to Stephen Bennett last year, where he had those big runs in the first half, whatever, and put us on our heels, and we never recovered. But, yes, 30 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Their running back, Keandre, I believe his name is, Miller, 1,300 yards. I believe 17 touchdowns. Dude's no slouch. Being down here in Oklahoma, I'm in Big 12 country, so I see a lot of the TCUs. I always consider TCU a Big 10 type team. Physical, grimy. Most teams down here in the Big 12, they like to throw the ball 100 times. They want the big plays, the OUs, the Texas. TCU always been one of those teams where they rely more on defense to win games, and that's not the case in the Big 12. So, yeah, we got TCU. Quentin Johnson, that big receiver, 900 receiving yards, man. I think dude's like 6'4". He's a big dude. 5 touchdowns. I believe we probably put Will Johnson on him most of the game. But yeah, that's a typical thing. When you're in the playoffs, most everybody got good offenses. So our defense gonna have to come. I think the keys to victory on defense, D-line must hit Max Duggan. You gotta hit that dude. He's a physical quarterback. So, we can't really get in the past we had issues with DNs getting pushed upfield and mobile quarterbacks just going out and going. I think with this defensive line, we kind of got the interior where we can kind of get pressure up the middle. And like I say, I'm down here in Big 12 country, and I don't believe TCU has yet to face a defense like Michigan's. So, I still respect TCU as a team, but as far as defense go, with our D-line, I'm taking our D-line over any D-line in the country. So the first key to victory, D-line must hit Max Duggan. Don't just get pressure. Hit him. Send a message early on that he's going to be looking for a D-lineman in his face every time he snaps the ball to snap. Secondary. Big 12, they throw that ball. So secondary, safeties, going to be huge. They got some big receivers, some fast receivers. We're going to have to cover a long time. Max like to extend plays, so we're going to have to cover a lot more. Don't cheat. Don't get caught looking at the quarterback. Like I said, I remember watching the OU game where if you're in the wrong position the quarterback can take it the distance, the running back can take it the distance, or the receiver can moss you up. So you got to play sound, fundamental football playing against TCU. I think this is going to probably be the first game where I feel on all three levels, from D-line to linebacker to secondary, everybody's going to be challenged. This is going to be one of those games where if we do what we got to do and hit Max Duggan early on, it's a chance we can do what we do. But we let these guys make big plays, score touchdowns, and we know where we got the offense, we can score points, but we don't rely on our offense like that. But so yeah, all three phases of the defense going to have to show up this game. Like I say, he's that type of they got those type of players. They got a chip on their shoulder. People felt like they wasn't supposed to be here. You know, just like Michigan, you know, they got chips on their shoulder. People feel like we ain't supposed to have been there last year. And so we got to send that statement that we want Georgia. You know, we finna show that with this D-line we got, this offensive line we got, we go just basically beat you up 4 quarters. We don't got to go for the knockout punch the first quarter. We go dominate 4 quarters with the run game. So keys to victory: defense, D-line, hit Max Duggan. You know, as far as the offense goes, I think we're in a good position right now because teams don't know what to expect. You know, I think head on, the beginning of the season was stop the run game, and you got a chance to stop in Michigan. But as they saw in the last, couple games, that, okay, now these dudes got a passing offense as well. And so I feel the offense is going to be finding the matchup. You know, my favorite new player, Colston Loveland. I think he's going to be the difference maker in this game. He's a matchup nightmare, man. We can get him some matchups on some linebackers. And if he got a linebacker on him, just run him deep. I think he's that type of athlete. You know, but outside of that, offense, stick to the game plan. Run the ball. Run the ball. Donovan Edwards is about 100 or so yards. I think 130 away from 1,000 yards, man. And I remember, I wasn't old enough to be around in those late 80s and 90s running backs where we would basically had 1,000-yard rushing on a consistent basis. I remember going years without 1,000-yard rushing. I remember from after Mike Hart left, I don't think we saw another 1,000-yard rusher to Higdon. So that's from 2006, 7, all the way to 2017, 18. So to have 2 rushers over 1,000 yards, that'd be dope. Being that we just won the award for the best offensive line again, now it's time. We got a target on our back. Because just like last year, Georgia came in with that mentality of, oh, y'all got the best offensive line. Well, we finna show you how good your offensive line is. So I think this year, going into the playoffs, it's like, all right, we got the D-line. Now it's time for the offensive line taking that step. We have to punish TCU's defense for 4 quarters. We can't. This is one of them games where you try to get cute and you get throw some turnovers or mess up. TCU can take advantage of that. They won a lot of games. They won at least 8 games by a touchdown or less. So that's the keys to the victory on offense, man. Stick to the game plan. Look for matchups with Colston Loveland and run the ball. Run the ball. If JJ come out hot, I think he's going to be the ace where they still want to stop Michigan run game. So if we can get some big plays with JJ, cool, but I don't want to see dink and dunk, JJ and trying to pass with this TCU game. Run the ball. If it's a low-scoring game in the first half, second half come out, keep running the ball. Because, like I say, TCU one of those teams where they'll grind it out team too. They can grind it out and take it into overtime or whatever you want to do. So what we're going to have to do is go ahead and just keep the time of possession, keep that offense on the sideline, and chew up that clock. Yes, and that's the keys, man. This is big, man. It's been a bit of a good week or so for Michigan, man. As far as the transfer portal, I'm gonna try to do another video on that sometime this weekend, man. We've been getting some good athletes. We got another center from Stanford. And being that Jim Harbaugh used to coach at Stanford and the relationship he had with Shaw, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple more Stanford players coming, so that's dope. And being that, USC and UCLA is coming to the Big Ten, a couple of those players that kind of got rivalries in that situation would love to, all right, now I can go to a Big Ten school that's building something. So, yeah, I think we can capitalize off this game. We dominate TCU. The recruits going to start coming in more by more. And one thing about Jim Harbaugh, I think with his personality, it's better for him with the transfer portal than recruiting. Him being an NFL coach before, he know about free agency. He know about the professional side of things. And being that he was one of the pioneers at, getting kids chances to transfer without having to sit out a year, so now he got those player trust that he's for the players. He always been an advocate that the players should have the option to transfer. And so when you a grown man, different from being a 17-year-old kid trying to convince a 17-year-old kid, and then you try to convince a 21, 22-year-old man that, all right, I can come here, get a Michigan degree probably, and raise my NFL stock. Because we know that he has NFL connections. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited, man. It's dope, Like I say, December 31st, we are first. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Go Blue.